Just noticed a trash can there. It's gonna be in the shot the entire time. This is a tasting of the Hoppy Brett Witbier. So the idea behind this was to use coriander and Brett combined and hopefully get some citrus flavor out of it. I heard through the session they had Almanac brewery on, and the head brewer was saying that you can use coriander and Brett combined and the coriander will transform in more citrus flavors through the Brett. The Brett will somehow transform it into more citrus flavors. You did use citra hops on the hoppier side. It's all late stuff. The idea was to enhance it a bit. One can maybe try this experiment without any hops just to see what the coriander does, but that's for another day. It's pretty good. It's definitely does not smell like or taste like a wit beer. It's probably clearer than it should be for a wit beer. It probably should be a little lighter even. And it's pretty cloudy. It's good. It's a really good Brett flavor on that. I used WLP 650 and 653, but the 653 were bottle dregs, where the 650 was a commercial pitch that I bought and dumped it in there as whole. I didn't do any starter with this, so it's 1 gallon. I think I underpitched it a little bit actually, and it did take a good 7 days for it to start before fermentation started. But once it did, it completed pretty quickly. I mean, it was done in like 4 or 5 days, and then I kept taking gravity readings, and over the course of 3 to 4 weeks, it had stabilized, so I bottled it. I'm definitely getting a little bit of a melon flavor too on it. It's a really nice Brett beer. I had this strain, that 650 especially, is one of my favorite Brett strains. If you use it 100% like I did, it's a little bit danky, but you get a little phenols, you do get a little bit of that horse blanket, you do get a little bit of that like smokiness, but it's very subdued. If you use it with the Saison, either combined or after as a secondary sort of fermentation, it can get really funky. When you have ferulic acid, like a Saison yeast strain, or certain grains can have it, or you do an acid rest, you're gonna get more enhanced Brett flavors. As 100% fermentation, even though I'm using wheat, which you can have a bit of that ferulic acid more than others, it still is subdued. It's not as Brett barnyardy, but the 650 strain is pretty intense. Even as 100% fermentation, I mean, it's there. It's definitely there. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting that citrus. It's coming through. It's not as prominent as I thought it might be. Yeah, like a citrus melon. It's a really lovely beer, actually. I highly recommend trying something like this, experimenting with more coriander, maybe less coriander, maybe more Brett. That citra hops definitely are coming through, but it's not that prominent. I would like to make it a hair hoppier if I were to do this again, but the experiment was more with coriander than it was with the hops. It doesn't taste like a wit beer. I mean, it tastes like a Brett beer that has slight citrus and slight melon to it. So, which is a good combination for the strains I used. So, here's to experimenting until the next brew day and until